Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Couple of things I've never showed off before. In it, when you do this, you really want to start off with a letter that is more like Arial or Arial Black instead of like Times New Roman that has the extended part. So we're just going to do this A again, a capital A. And I am going to hit P to put it in the center of the page. And I'm going to make it Arial Black. Give it a good thick letter. I'm going to left click, right click. And then I'm going to draw an ellipse and hit P. Let's hit P on both of them. And you want it touching on all 4 points. So we're going to, and I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I'm going to draw this holding down the shift key. And then I'm going to move it down a little bit because I still want it to look like an A. And then I'm going to select them both. I don't know which one I did first, so I'm going to go front minus back, and that's exactly what I wanted. But what I want to do is I want to make another ellipse first. So I'm going to Control D, holding down the Shift key. But then I'm going to nudge that out of the way so it's not in the picture. Whoop, see, it's just the opposite of what I wanted. And then I'm going to hit P. Wow. I must have nudged something. Let me just kind of back up here. I nudged. Oh, you know what I did? If you remember, I moved that circle. So I need to make a new circle. I think I did that, but Control D and make a duplicate. Holding down the Shift key and then nudge it over and then do your, a lot of times like well doesn't work on this case. So you're going to pick back minus front or front minus back. And then you got that. The next important point, well, you know what? No, I'm just going to do this one straight. The most important, well, one of the most important things you need to do is take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in because we want to work with a solid object and no lines. And then I'm going to go to the extrude tool, which is underneath your shadow. And I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to extrude it. But now watch this. You cannot rotate it after you do this. The rotation goes away. So when you want to rotate it to make it look three-dimensional, rotate it first. And then you can bring in this to not make it as thick. This one's going to be a little bit more of an angle, but that's fine. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to break the extrude group apart, grab it and move that over. This is our key everything. And it's kind of funny that when we ungroup it, these parts become separate, but that's okay. So I'm going to take this one right here and I'm going to because I'm going to have to do it more times, but interactive fill tool, I'm going to swipe across. And then a little trick I've just learned recently, if you will just take and click boxes along this line, it'll save you some time. Then I'm going to go and get the white and put white every other time. And we can still move them around and separate them. So I'm making kind of like I need to make that one darker and maybe not have white on the end, but that's, you know what, I probably want dark there. And then I'm going to sneak in a white between them. Okay. And then you can adjust this to your liking, but I'm going to call that good. Now we're going to take this and we're going to go to there's a copy properties from, but this actually takes longer than this. So if you go to attribute eyedropper and take a sample of this. Now, if you look, they're not going in the right direction. And see, well, that's what I was saying about this being all different pieces. But see, they're not going the right direction. So we need to take one of these, double click on your fountain fill, and you get this, and you can just rotate it up and down. Now, what I think is cool about this, you can get your attribute eyedropper and take a sample of that and just fill these in. And see, it's giving you that up and down. Now, it doesn't look that cool yet, but I'm gonna click. I don't think I did that one. I'm gonna double click on my rotate on my fountain fill and just, and see here, you can actually see it more in real time, moving those parts around. This one needs a little correction too. So you want them straight up and down, I think. It's kind of hard because this is going at an angle. Now, it doesn't look all that spectacular till you do this. And then it won't look very spectacular, and I don't like that. It's too many. We could still change it, but let's see what it looks like under a black, on a printer on a black background. Object order, back a page. Yeah, see, that's maybe too much. So you could still click on that, double click on your pen tool, move this out of the way, and see how you could move things around, and you could delete lines. You know, if you want to delete some lines and really make it your own, and you know, whatever you think looks good. But it looks like, I don't like that one. Let's see what we can do to that one. You know what? Maybe it'll add a little more. Well, I guess you really have to do that out of this mode, because you can always grab that piece and get the interactive fill tool back, and you could see this is not reacting because it's a lot longer. So we need to put some like grays between there, and maybe a little bit darker gray, maybe a little bit darker gray, and move that gray in. I think I've just got two. Well, there's a white one, so I'm going to put. It's so easy. That's why I was saying earlier. It's so easy to move the objects around, and I'm going to put a little bit darker right there. And I mean, you could literally, and I know graphic artists. Well, they know what they're doing more so than me, but probably take a long time to get that just perfect. And then this one looks a little catawampus. Yeah, so you can just rotate it around. And it's so nice to be able to see this in real time. Anyway, so you could work on it. I think my first one looks a little, well, you know what? My first one looks a little better because it's a little darker A. So if you do that with a letter, just think about, you know, time. I tried a Times New Roman couple of letters, and there's just so many curves in it that it makes it hard. Anyway, hope that gave you an idea or two, and thank you for watching.